Wild Talents, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 21J. In the matter of the deaths that follow the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb, it is my notion that, if curses there be, they lose their vitality anyway after several thousand years. Or that a tomb was violated, and that funerals followed, by the deadly magic of no mummy, but of the living Egyptian, that, somewhere in Egypt, a sense of desecration became an obsession, from which came rage, or a more personal and searching vengeance. I wonder why the wealthy farmer appears in so many records of more or less uncanny doings. Perhaps any farmer who becomes wealthy, so becomes by sharp practices, and has enemies, whose malices against him demonstrate. In November 1890, the household of Stephen Haven, a wealthy farmer living near Fowlerville, Michigan, was startled by cries. One night, Haven was found at the bottom of a deep well. He had walked in his sleep. 2 months later, he was again missing from his bedroom, was searched for, and was found, standing, with the water up to his neck, in Silver Lake. Other members of the family were alarmed and alert. They heard slight sounds. One night, Haven was found, fast asleep, trying to set the house afire. Another time, and a thud was heard. The man, asleep, had tried to hang himself. According to the story, as told in the Brooklyn Eagle, November 18, 1892, Haven had finally been found dead, at night. He had fallen from the upper story doorway of his barn. See back to occurrences in Sing Sing prison, in December 1930. New York Herald Tribune, January 18, 1932. Warden Lewis Edward Laws fell this evening on the sleet-covered steps of his home at the prison, and his right arm was broken in 3 places. In matters of witchcraft, my general expression, as I say, to signify that neither as to anything in this book, nor anywhere else, have I beliefs, my general expression upon poltergeist girls is not that they are mediums, controlled by spirits, but that effects in their presence are phenomena of their own powers, or talents, or whatever. But that there are cases in which it seems to me that youngsters were mediums, or factors, not to spirits, but to living human beings, who had become witches, or wizards, by their hates, or that, in some cases, sorcery, unless so involuntarily accomplished, cannot operate. See back to the Dag case. Here there seemed to be a girl's own phenomena, and also the presence of another being, who was invisible. The story was probably largely a distortion. The story was that there was a feud, that a voice accused a neighbor, Mrs. Wallace, of having sent it into the Dag home. If this woman could invisibly transport herself into somebody else's home, for purposes of malice and persecution, we'd not expect her to accuse herself. But there is such an element in the hate, as a sense of dissatisfaction with injuring an enemy, unless the victim knows who's doing it. Also the accusation was soon confused into an acquittal.